This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. Smackdown's overnight rating was a 0.52, which is up from the previous week. The show featured a little vignette showing all the places that Logan Paul winning the U.S. title from Rey Mysterio everywhere in the media that got. So definitely Logan Paul has been a good investment for WWE, not only for putting wrestlers on his talk show, which I'm sure he would never do if it wasn't for the agreement with WWE, unless it was a real top wrestler, but not the lower ones that he has had on. But obviously he gives WWE a lot more exposure to fans outside of wrestling, to the mainstream audience. Sheamus, who's been out with a shoulder injury, is going to be returning at the end of the month. Vince McMahon was interviewed for Fox News about WWE raising one of the biggest flags for Veterans Day, one of the biggest flags in America, on top of their corporate headquarters. They've always been a big supporter of the troops, and I would like to thank all of our troops on Remembrance Day as well here in Canada. But Vince, he appears to have stopped dyeing his mustache. Here is a recent picture of him where he's still dyeing his hair, which if he can keep whatever look he wants, he's a billionaire. But it appears that the mustache that everyone has been critiquing him for is now gone, and it's more of a regular mustache at this point, and he's not dyeing it black. There was rumors that the reason he was dyeing his mustache and everything was because he was dating a younger woman. Some pictures came out that showed him with a younger woman. By the way, the Crash, which is an independent company in Mexico, drew over 5,000 fans for their November 3rd, 12th anniversary show. So 5,000 fans is a great number for an independent company. I think CMLL and AAA still hit big numbers for their big shows, far above that from what I've seen, but I know AEW's bragging all the time about this deal they have with CMLL, but their ratings are dropping. So I don't think the answer to capture your average fan that's flipping through channels is going to be to bring in more people that can't speak English for an American television station. I know there's a lot of Spanish people in America, but for people like me, it's hard to identify with. When you don't understand what they're saying and it's not the typical American style of wrestling. AEW taped Collision after their Rampage taping last night. Andrade beat Daniel Garcia for Collision. These are the spoilers. Nick Wayne beat Dalton Castle, which I think Dalton Castle is mostly a Ring of Honor wrestler, but they always mix them. This is the match that I was confused would be on Dynamite. Sting, Darby Allin, and Edge beat Lance Archer and the Righteous. I don't think anyone thought that Sting, Darby Allin, and Edge were going to lose that one. But I'm surprised who knows, they might air it last for the actual airing of Collision, but that seems like a main event to me. Rush and Drastilico beat the Workhorsemen. That's one that I would change the channel for. Roderick Strong beat Darius Martin. I wouldn't really be that interested in that one either. Julia Hart defeated Willow Nightingale. That one I'd watch. I'm a women's wrestling fan. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated a jobber as well. So there's the Collision spoilers. If you don't feel like watching it, I think it only did a 0.09 rating last week, which is about the same that it did that Rampage did the night before. Al says Vince McMahon, according to him, still looks like Dick Dastardly. Crash is Conan booked there. I think Conan books for AAA. Not sure about the Crash. I've at one point there were some American companies having crossover with them, but I did read the results of that show, and nothing stood out to me as a name that I would recognize. I didn't see Conan's name on there. But I wish everyone a good weekend, and check out the 7+ hour compilation video I did that's premiering right now on the Hannibal TV of Ken Patera interviews, one of the favorite guests of the fans here on the Hannibal TV. By the way, Dan Henderson, UFC legend, talked to me today and said that he is going to do an interview with me very, very soon. So we'll get that nailed down. Sid called me last week. I'm going to get this Sid interview before the end of the year. Guaranteed. And supposedly Billy Jack Haynes is going to do an audio interview with me tomorrow night to celebrate that Dynamite was in Portland, Oregon on Wednesday. And no, Billy Jack Haynes was not invited, despite probably being the most popular wrestler other than Piper from the Oregon territory.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or